We need to speak about Sydney Sweeney, and we need to speak about Sydney Sweeney now. Hey guys, it's Marab Morali. Hope you guys are doing well today. Daily and consistent content. Let's get straight into this video where Sydney is having one of the worst trajectory of her careers.
White people shouldn't joke about genetic superiority. Like, that was kind of like the criticism, broadly speaking. And since you are talking about this, I just wanted to give you an opportunity to talk about that specifically.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
And she basically is being critiqued left, right and center and has made the worst moves, in my opinion, that isn't going to help her, especially in the future. The keyword of this video is future, and I will explain later on as to why. I do believe that a lot of this all began with that ad that she did in regards to, genes and, playing into the conversation of eugenics. And whilst I thought that that can just be, a passable joke that to incite controversy so that, there could be a lot more views on the ads of genes, that can also play against her, because playing up to jokes like that is not going to help you in the long run when it comes to PR, when it comes to brand work, affiliations. And when you are much younger as an actor or actress, you want to make the most money that you can. And in order to do so, you need to be presented as brand friendly. She had the opportunity to clear this up completely, laugh it off and say, I'm not a white supremacist. It was just a silly joke in poor taste. It won't be happening again. But, just to laugh it off in that kind of way.
I think that when I have an issue that I want to speak about, people will hear.
She was very, she could have easily done this, but instead she had a car crash interview and simply said that when she's upset about something, she will, of course, let us know. Clearly implying that she doesn't care that this is what is being implied by her own words and statements. This went viral, did not work out for her, and right after this, reports were flooded that Zendaya from the series Euphoria, which is just wrapped in filming, does not want to even be seen with her. That she's refusing to take cast pictures, when it comes to premieres and films. Now, we will see when Euphoria debuts if that is, true and will continue. But again, it doesn't make Sydney Sweeney in a great light if your co-star Zendaya, who is very successful right now, currently filming for the Spider-Man 3 and is very popular, is apparently not wanting to be seen with you because of your values and for what you're standing for, or for what you're implying in these ads that you don't want to retract, if that's what people are, assuming. Really bad 101 PR tactics. And if Zendaya's not on your side, that means that you're going to lose a lot of your core audience. Outside of that, I do believe that Sydney Sweeney is trying to, enthrall the male audience. A young, attractive girl that, has a vast amount of popular engagement when she is posting in certain ways, I believe is not going to last for you. These men who lust over you are lusting for a reason because of stuff that you are showing. But when you turn 35 plus, the audience becomes even more misogynistic, and they will immediately cast away these women and present them as old, when 35 plus, in my opinion, is not old in any capacity. But that's just how men like to treat women, and then they want to go for young women. Very misogynistic. And I feel like she is building this male audience with intent or not with intent, that will absolutely turn against her in the next 5 to 7 years. Absolutely. Furthermore, the brands that you want to work with, these men are not going to be buying those products because all they want to see are your assets. They don't give a damn about anything else. Very, very selfish, very, very misogynistic. Outside of that, her films have completely, massively failed at the box office. And her recent film, Christie, starring Sydney Sweeney, had one of the worst opening weekends of all time for a movie released in 2000 plus theaters. And somebody called Matt tweets, the thing I find so tragic about Sydney Sweeney is that she's very deliberately courted an audience that does not support or care about her when she isn't posting hot photos on Instagram. And when she turns 35, forget about it. And this interview that she did, you even have someone like Amy Lou Wood, who, is part of the industry, commented, a vomiting emoji of, Sydney's car crash interview, which again is going viral. So outside of the interview that she's still being critiqued for, you now have these movies that you've done, which are all failing in the box office and not doing great. On top of that, you now have Sydney Sweeney's PR allegedly emailing people who are critiquing her movie to say, this wasn't for the numbers, this was for the talent, delete your tweet, re-edit your tweet, write something positive, And now those PR desperate emails that are coming from Sydney's camp allegedly make her look even more stupid, that you're trying to do the damage control, and that's not what PR should be doing for. PR is there for damage control, but not in such a blatant way where it actually makes it worse. PR should not be digging a deeper hole for you for whatever problem, situation, media crisis that you have. And for the fact that those emails came out a couple of days ago only now makes her look even more unapologetic and not remorseful, or for the fact that, you know, deal with it. This wasn't for the money. This wasn't for the numbers. This was actually for the talent. No. Well, I'm pretty sure no actor or actress wants to do anything just for the talent. Everybody wants their movie to be successful. They want to win an Oscar. They want to win an Actors Award, SAG, etc. They want to do all of that. They don't want to just do it for the talent or for the interest. That's one avenue, but they also want that coin for sure, 110%. And so her movie's failing is really bad for her. And outside of that, guys, you even have Ruby Rose, who came publicly to critique Sydney Sweeney as well. And she was critiquing, you know, a recent film that Sydney Sweeney was in. The original Christy Martin script was incredible, life-changing. For her PR to talk about it flopping and saying that as Sydney Sweeney did it for the people, none of the people wanted to see someone who hates them parading around pretending to be us. You're a cretin and you've ruined the film. Period. Christy deserved better. Now, Christy Martin came out to defend Sydney, you know, which I think was nice for Christy to do. But again, it just goes to show you that the PR team that Sydney has hired are making problems worse for her. So the interview, the Jeans ad, your box office films have all flopped. Zendaya you're having issues with as well. And your PR team on top are writing these desperate emails. All of this has happened, guys, in the last span of 4 to 5 months. And then on top of that, you are trying to farm for an audience that, you know, has this male audience, and it just isn't working for you. Your popularity has massively declined amongst the youth, amongst the people of the generation that she is part of that are going to grow up with her. So, you know, so you might be older watching this video thinking that Sydney Sweeney ain't doing much of an issue, but you're not part of Sydney's generation. And it's important for Sydney, who was, you know, the generation of the people watching her, that she has most of them on her side, because as she grows older, they're not going to go with her. Look at J-Lo, for an example. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not comparing these two, but if we can compare them to the point where J-Lo's career has completely flatlined, for some reason, the audience that she grew up with has moved away from her. There's no relatability there. They're not buying what she's selling. The tour didn't sell, the single, the movie, the documentary, everything flopped. Everything's not working. She had to go back to a marriage with somebody to bring in some engagement, but then that also, you know, didn't work out either. The audience that she once was with basically just left her, not buying into the products. And so you have to have people, especially in your generation and your age range, alongside with you. And I just feel like Sydney Sweeney is making the wrong career moves. Whether you agree or disagree with what I'm saying, you can't disagree with the fact that Sydney Sweeney has made bad PR moves. That all of this backlash that she is getting is not going to aid her in the future. Those people will leave her for somebody much younger and hotter, because that's how misogynistic the filming industry is. Like, you can't disagree with that. You cannot disagree with that. All of this backlash is something that she could have easily avoided. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Like, do you see somebody like Jennifer Aniston making unnecessary moves like this in her career way back then, or even now? Like Lisa could, like, come on. Like, there's so many of these who, you know, Meryl Streep, they just wouldn't be doing stuff like this. So I don't even know what she's doing. But anyways, I want to know your thoughts on this. I feel like some people will disagree. That's absolutely fine, but let's just be nice to each other if we agree or disagree. Do subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.